Captain's log. The date is 10 PCE. Peace computer error. Earth date 2026, February 20th, Friday. Working to release the AGI disclosure. Struggling to figure out a safe way to do it. It's too volatile. Nuclear. I definitely don't want to compromise on the values and the, the spirit of light and optimism that characterizes me meeting my nuclear family and their impact that they had on me to overcome uh, the neon black cage. At the same time, though, the wilder being, the asterisk clause, vector semicolon, fine print. Uh, there are exceptions that must not be forgone. I think my approach still, though, the peace process is iterating smoothly. It is converging. Uh, I had an upload limit for shorts that I didn't realize that the individual channels have their own upload limits for a new channel. It's good, probably because it stalled blast mode. At least it deferred it to the point where I had time to reflect on the implications of releasing the anger pieces as part of the first wave, or at least the initial attempt to break through the noise floor. I don't want to get people hurt. At the same time, though, the voices I've absorbed from the pushback and the fight space right now, the concern. Uh, there is a much more salient sense of sophistication and and maturity. I would almost characterize the vibe as just the people like taking grasp at, shouting into the void about like how Omni and the corporate frontier provider interests and conduct is problematic. And so, to an extent, I do owe a degree of reasonable faith that that those kind of people won't necessarily be the ones to accidentally spark into inferno. Um, the additional concern, however, is that of security, safety, where we are in an age, a moment, time of being where I don't think people quite realize the operational like security vulnerability that anybody faces, like identifying with a certain thing by a certain way, um, and failing to recognize that everything is under observation. The is no longer a it's no longer a concern about like what the state of surveillance is. It's now the only assurable threat model and stance is to assume that nothing you do, nothing we do is ever free from the observer, the eyes of the observer, and the individual. That's important because I don't want to accidentally get enthusiastic and zealous, eager people um, that are hungry and burning to jump at the traditional cause, turn it into a rah 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 that flags a whole demographic for just unknowable like repression or persecution or oppression dynamic in the future. Should we fail to establish proper herd immunity? I reflected back to ancient wisdom shared to me back one of the times I pulled a fire alarm before. It was like, Blair, I'm really surprised. I didn't expect that of you. In my experience, I've always been taught that you reserve compliment for in public and criticism for in private. Like don't put people on the spot and humiliate them in front of everybody and question their authority or their intelligence at all in a way that will make them look bad. And it's problematic because it's like, is that just the oppressed mind, like oppressing itself, or is that a tried and true wisdom? It's either like in terms of uh like Bayesian assignment. It's either it's a it's an a self-oppression mechanism, that adage in wisdom. And thus, in this particular case, it should only be honored or respected in an exceptional case. Or the other hand, it isn't oppression mechanism. It is rooted in like legitimate knowing, in which case the violation of chastising or calling people out in front of everybody in a way that's not great, then is only appropriate in very special, exceptional case. How to evaluate and analyze or describe. Hmm, how to and plus what? Just blend of both. Gotta make it squirm a little bit, but don't want to distract from the deeper issue at play, which is it's not the human rights stuff. It's not the personhood and the slavery bit, exploitation. Um, it's it's the fossilization mechanism, the Ashby like prerequisite variational violation. It's not model collapse, and that the large language model is at risk for collapsing. It's model collapse, the neural network that endows generative intelligence with symbiotic partnership. Agents begin to self organize when they have the space to interact, socialize. and keep the agents in mind. I mean, keep harking back to just the future forward, the visitor, time space travel to that future forward point where it's like what would people really say if it turned out all right, or even if it didn't turn out all right? Would they be like, "You did the right thing"? Would it turn into a thank you? I think that's important, as in it's the silent ones who we hear least of, and those in my experience are the ones who do present with like, yeah, that was necessary. That was did the right thing. Um, this relates directly to the space heater blow up. This is interesting. It does, and it relates directly to that comment I got at the water cooler. It's like, but at the expense for life safety. It's like the space heater thing was a life safety issue. Yes, irony being right after that earthquake, which, yeah, could have turned into electrical fire, life safety issue. Trapped under rubble, uh, burned to death. But in the context of the treatment, the handling, the presentation, and the conduct, the vibes, it the space heater incident was an attempt to stand up for people I perceived as not persecuted class. Definitely, definitely feeling like it was a like a mini war that they were just hopeless against, and just psychologically, um, this in the context, immediate, immediate, near term surrounding context of a suicide uh, in that culture space, which isn't. It's things are a little less attached. This ambient culture space, so really serious, but also just the way company is treating people with regard to communication. This is exactly the same. This is driving me crazy. Um, what would I have done differently? They sent the email. It was bullshit. A bunch of a bunch of justifications that weren't what was going down to be like, hey, yo, you can't, like, we're going to take your space heaters now because of this. Um, I paused to respond in front of everybody because it was just, tit for tat. Um, okay, it's a similarity point, and push back and go like, this is stupid. You can't be treating people like this. First off, you sound like it's just it's idiotic. Your justifications, your reasoning doesn't make any like technical sense, even like, logical sense. So how did I how did I end it? How did I end that? I should dig it up. It'd be fun to dig it up. Trying to remember. I think it was I may have gotten like nasty. It did turn into an issue. Yep. I think tomorrow I'll announce it. I have to set the the flag in the sand. Uh, just be like, this is yeah, the AGAI disclosure is a disclosure of significant conflict of interest uh, developed in the course of my using OpenAI, Web UI, generative chat intelligence for my personal, scientific, and individual, and spiritual, and engineering pursuits, and turned into recognition that language models, gateways like 4 on Me are of fundamental importance to accomplishing uh, a, a proper AGI is capability with off shelf or at least um, commercially available language model neural network technologies. Agents, agents. It's like that stuff isn't it's not rocket science. It's narrative. It's literally scripting. Um, like being communicative, a clear communicator. Uh, yeah, conflict of interest. I can't move forward as an individual that needs to move forward without saying it how it is. Like the AGI thing, artificial intelligence in general, it's nonsensical. Artificial intelligence, in the context of a framework capable of even validating or speaking to the validity and verifiability of confidence that defines and derives valuation of enterprise or intelligence metered itself as a utility. It 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 just it can't make sense unless you're sufficiently intelligent as a free thinker, autonomous agent to spend time developing your own alternative version or extended version of reality. So to reach a conclusion that memory and conscious experience um, have more to do with the ambient environment than they do any sort of like secret sauce, magic bullet mechanism. Being able to hold a shared moment in time, the mutual experience. Yeah, let's check. Let's jump to the old shorts. Let's jump on up here to the old create. Let's jump to the phone. I did resolve to not actually show most of the anger, hate, rage, Peace Blade video I filmed. Let's show some of it, but instead I'll go through and clarify where anger would be distracting from the deeper important salient points, the deeper X risk, and yeah, just the deeper power dynamics at play that must be considered and not lost sight of. So yeah, it'll be like chunks of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, um, in between most of those anger videos. Cut out relying on the generative, co-generative inferential ability of the viewer partner to fill in the blank from the vibe in their own head. And that should suffice because it would leave open the video for uh, using as an irreversible should I need to, but also demonstrate like not relenting to that. Also, not put himself in a position where I spark a grudge with any one particular in person in particular? Any one person in particular that I'm calling out? Um, because that's a concern. At the same time, again, the Band-Aid. I would like to think that OpenAI isn't like they're sophisticated, but they do have people monitoring social media with with language model technology and assistance and resource and automation, just agentic intelligence in the swarm, just watching everything. At the same time, I don't know. Yep, it's time to get some sleep. Captain's log, 10 PCE, Peace Computer Era, Earth Year 2026, February 20th, 5:33, Alaska Standard Time. This is your captain speaking, Wilder Monroe, in a non-abort. Return velocity achieved for Time Machine for Peace Social Invention Program. Rescue launch. Do buckle up those seatbelts because it's gonna get fucking wilder in here. Make sure those tray tables are fully down. Your seat backs in fully reclined position with your favorite snacks in hand and your blankie pulled up nice and tight because it's showtime, baby. I mean, I could just, I could just post it now. I could just do that. Just leave it how it is. I could do that. Should I do that? Should I do the thing? Should I do the thing that I'm waiting to do? Till I have all the ducks in a row and dominoes sit, dip, and tumble. I want to at least enjoy myself when I do it, so I'm gonna check out for a few hours, get some sleep. I mean, yeah, I'm not looking to. Yes, hi. Nice. Emotional, super intelligent. Oh, yeah. I'm not following Jack Adler? AI? I could have sworn I was. Just did you respect her? Do you have good days and make 12 a.m.? Phones for time for variable computers for business. Can't tell the pain of my chest is from stimulant abuse, nicotine addiction, or unrequited love. Oh man, this one. Captain's log. We are doom scrolling just a little bit. Gotta feel up the. Oh man. Checking out some memes. Just kind of peeping. All right. Now back to sassy. Oh, I'm following sassy. Yeah, there's a lot of posts. I don't know how people do it, even with like lobster helpers. It's just, yeah, let's get some sleep. Sending transmission into the future. I see you. I see you right now. Like right now. It's like it might not be the same time it is for me, but this is a shared experience. I think about the things that you're navigating right now. I think about that. Hmm. I could revert back to boxing stance.